Welcome to the Open Chair podcast from the Brentwood Baptist Student Ministry. My name's Evan.
And I'm Savannah.
And this is our very first episode of this podcast. Yeah, we're excited. Savannah, tell us a little bit about why we decided. I mean, there's a million podcasts out there.
Yeah.
Everybody, I've been on 3 podcasts over the years.
Mr. Popular.
Why did we want to start this one?
Yeah, I think we wanted to start this one specifically for students. So thinking about our middle schoolers and mainly our high schoolers of just things that they're going through, like different things that they're learning in high school and try to like honestly combat some of what they're hearing, whether that's like pop culture things, but also just focusing mainly on like how to read your Bible, why to go to church, like all of the other things that come along with just learning how to be a believer in general.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And obviously, we talk about that stuff on Sundays. We talk about that stuff on Wednesdays. But the hope is that in the middle of the week, this is something extra that can go out there about a super specific topic. Sometimes we'll have guests on to come talk. I think we'll have Billy on from time to time to hang out with us. But we're going to have lots of different people on because we want to talk about lots of different things, whether that's Q&A from our students. It's things that they actually want to know about and are sending to us, or just topics that we really like or see as being relevant for our students. Speaking of which, today, I personally am entitling this episode, Can I Like That?
Yes.
We're talking about pop culture.
Yes, pop culture. So to start us off, I've got some questions for Evan.
To be clear, I am out on pop culture. I know nothing.
Okay.
So this
Very
is
fair.
going to be difficult.
Very fair.
You got it. You got it. Go deep in Facebook.
No. Okay, pause. What pop culture moment defined your middle school years, Evan? I know that was a while ago for you.
So I was in middle school from 2004 to 2007, 2003 to 2007. So it's a little while ago. Okay, but I think as I think about it, there are 2 things that come to mind. One is, which actually this was not beloved by my generation to the degree that I think it was by Gen Z. It came back around for some reason, but Shark Boy and Lava Girl came out when I was in middle school. That was Spy Kids was our thing.
Mr. La Limonada.
I don't think I've ever even seen Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Me and my mom say that all the time. We're getting lemonade.
See, Gen Z loves it. What can I say? The other thing that definitely was big was when like Hollister and Abercrombie.
They are coming back.
They are.
I hate them though.
We talked about this before. I was not allowed to shop.
I wasn't
at those
either.
Places. The smell, the dark lights. It was so expensive.
And it does stink, low-key.
It does. However, I will say one of the highlights of my life was in 8th grade. This was a big moment in my life when my mom did buy me 2 Hollister shirts. 2 polars, because if you remember, shout out to Holly. If you remember, there was a season where you wore 2 polos on top of each other and popped both collars.
Oh, I wasn't a part of that.
in my generation.
Yeah.
So wearing a Hollister double pop collar.
They make shirts now that just have like 2 colors in them, so you don't have to wear like a double shirt.
We walked so the kids could run today. All right, how dare they?
So.
What was yours?
Chevron. Definitely Chevron. I'm going to pull up this picture and show you guys what I mean. Oh, no. Oh, no. Here it is. This is me.
What is Chevron?
Chevron's the pattern at the top of the dress.
That's zigzag. That's Charlie Brown. Right
no,
there.
it's not Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown had 1 zigzag.
Okay. So.
This is like, no, yeah. This like, and like the big chunky necklace. Ew, it's like hideous. That's me in 8th grade.
Is it?
And the turquoise blue, my room was this blue.
Yeah. No, it's a great look. It's a great look. Are you bringing that back as well?
No.
Are the kids bringing that back?
I doubt it. What is the new Chevron? I think the new Chevron is hot take, the like checkered pattern.
Interesting. I was going to say camo.
I also loved camo growing up.
Yeah, well, we have talked before about you having a camo wedding dress. Is this still the plan?
It's not. I think E-Man would kill me.
It is. That's good. Okay, Chevron. Yes. Not the gas station.
Not the gas station. So.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
It's really good to know. You had another question.
I did. I'm trying to find it. What's something Gen Z says that you actually like saying? Like some of their little trigger words or their phrases.
Okay. Not many, but I said one earlier, but actually I'm going to change my answer. I said Riz earlier. And I stand by that. That's still a good one. That's a good one. But I do really like slaps.
Oh, like
When
that
people
slaps?
like that slaps. I think that's good. I like that. That's funny to me.
I don't like that.
Any
that's
particular reason?
No, I just don't. I'm just like slaps. Okay.
I mean, it's better than 6'7".
Yeah, that's 100% true.
It's better than a lot of the other ones.
Yeah. I don't really know if I have one. I'm trying to think. Maybe I don't know if this is Gen Z, but I love saying period. I'm a period
You
girl.
do. Wait, hold on. No, we both have an answer to this.
Clock it.
Yeah.
No, that's my Ellieism, I feel like.
That is definitely our answer.
Yeah.
That's definitely our answer. All right, thinking about pop culture. We don't know much. Well, you know more than I do.
Yeah, I mean a little.
You're much more up to date than I am. And
Yeah,
Billy doesn't even have social media.
No.
So
that's
he's
true.
completely out on this. But we really want to start thinking about like what is our relationship to pop culture, starting with you and me, and then thinking about what is our students' relationship to pop culture. I actually don't know. Do they even really think of it? Do they use that term?
I don't think they use that term, no. I mean, it's probably more like social media is pop culture.
Whatever's influencer culture
Yes,
right
whatever
now.
influencer, whatever everyone else is doing is pop culture. No one calls it. I don't think I've ever heard any student ever call it pop culture.
No. And so, I mean, for me, when I think about pop culture, like where my head goes immediately is movies, TV shows, and music.
Right, but I think they would think music, influencers, TikTok.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Which is different.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really, really different. We are going to do a podcast episode later about social media.
Yeah, this is not just about social media. This is about like all generational, like not generational, but like all topics of like movies, singers, kind of TikTokers, but not really TikTok specific.
Yep. Yeah. Not TikTok specific. That's good. Okay. So what's been your relationship with pop culture, influencer culture across the board growing up and even to now?
Yeah, I think growing up, I wasn't allowed. I didn't get an iPhone until I was like, I don't know, 10, not 10. That's way too young. Like 10th grade. It's like when I got my first iPhone. So I wasn't allowed to have social media. I know I got social media and then I like disobeyed my parents. Like I was messaging random
Which you
people
shouldn't do.
No, you shouldn't. And nor should you do this. Message random people online. Like I was just talking to random people. And so I got all my...
I was on AIM in chat rooms. I have no room to talk. We definitely did that.
Yeah.
What a weird era.
It is like Kick and everything. Like I don't even know if these students would know what Kick is, but like I wasn't allowed to have that.
I don't know what that is.
Anyway, okay. Kick is like a messaging app that you can message like random people on.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
It is. It's like Snapchat even. Like like Snapchat I feel like
gosh.
is the modern version of Kick because all students just add people back on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Anyways, my relationship to social media, pop culture, whatever, I like wasn't allowed to watch like anything that had witchcraft in it growing up. So like Wizards of
Fair.
Waverly Place, not allowed. Harry Potter, not allowed. But I was allowed to watch like Star Wars. I'm like Star Wars and Harry Potter are like similar, but and so I feel like that stuff had a lot of influence on me because I never really like got into it. But I mean, now I remember like I was talking with someone the other day thinking about like when I was listening to like Zach Bryan, Noah Kahan, all of like your sad cowboy music is what I call it. I was literally depressed.
Is Noah Kahan a cowboy?
No, but he like fits the vibe. Like if you're thinking like fall, if I want to listen to fall music, I feel like that fits in the genre of like sad cowboy.
Yeah, it's emo cowboys.
Emo, that
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
But yeah, sad emo.
I get it.
Whatever. And like I was depressed. Like I was literally
Listening to their music?
No, yes, because it was the only thing that I was listening to for a season. So I wasn't listening to anything else. I was always putting on Zach Bryan. I was always putting on Noah Kahan. And I just remember I didn't want to keep living because all I was hearing was all these sad things coming into my mind over and over again.
Yeah.
And I know we were talking about this the other day, but like podcasts, I am that white girl who loves to listen to murder podcasts. I love a good murder podcast.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't really either, but like it's just entertaining. Anyways, or like I was just listening to murder podcasts. I was just watching like Law and Order and like Criminal Minds, and I was literally petrified out of my mind.
Of course you were.
Yeah, and I was anxious. I was literally checking my backseat every single time I got into that car. I was like,
Yeah.
But like it's just like those moments, like figuring out like, okay, why am I anxious? It's because the things that are going into my, like the things that I'm seeing and things that I'm hearing are shaping how I'm actually feeling.
Yeah.
And I think like that for me was a big turning point when I realized, okay, why am I so sad? I'm sad because I'm listening to sad music. I'm not actually sad. So I think like for me, that's kind of been my relationship with it. I mean, I've listened to secular music. I've listened to non-secular music. I obviously feel better when I'm not listening to sad cowboy music.
All the time.
All the time. I still listen to select songs,
Yeah.
right, to some of their music. But when I'm putting happy songs on, I'm genuinely a happier person. That's just because, like, what's going on in my brain. So,
Yeah.
I would say that's probably been my experience with, like, pop culture, I guess. But what about you?
Yeah. Well, as we probably would have guessed, I'm like the opposite end of the spectrum, where my parents were just like, it's fine, whatever you want to do. And my dad worked in the music industry. So,
Yeah.
Music was a big part of our lives growing up. And so, like, we were always, so when I think about pop culture, like, that's probably like the biggest thing. Like, I didn't watch shows that were like crazy.
Right.
And I didn't watch movies that were crazy. But music, like, I just listened to a lot of different stuff. And I very distinctly remember being a senior in high school, and one of our leaders, who is still a leader now to this day, we had a long conversation at camp about the stuff that you let go into your brain and that you're listening to. And I came home and I was so convicted. I had my iPod
Yes.
Classic, and I went home. I deleted everything that wasn't Christian on it. I was like, I gotta wipe it clean, man. I gotta repent. And so I got rid of all of it. Now, I kept all the purchases on my computer.
Of course, you'd already bought them.
No, yeah, I paid money for that.
Right.
Come on, man,
Like,
it's an
what
investment. But I remember doing that, and then I do remember very distinctly, WayFM used to do the 30-day WayFM challenge.
I did that.
Did you?
Yes, my mom loved WayFM.
Yes. I had a long drive to school every day, so I'd listen to WayFM, and I remember doing it my senior year for the first time. And I do remember getting to the end of the 30 days and being like, I do feel different.
Right. I feel a little better.
Mm-hmm. It's what's influencing your mind and going in. So thankfully I had a leader who confronted me about that early on. And so it's something I've been mindful of throughout my life. Like, I know that I feel worse when I'm only listening to certain things or only watching certain things. That's just going to be a natural part of life, which this is kind of where we wanted to go next. I mean, that makes it hard for our students. And, for me growing up, I grew up enough at the time, like, we did not have streaming platforms.
Right.
Netflix was still sending DVDs to your house,
Redbox.
Yes, that was it. The TV, when I was growing up, still, like, went off at a certain point at night and didn't play anything,
Right.
And if you want to listen to music, you either had to buy it and put it on your iPod
Or go get a CD.
Right? So, like, access was so much more limited. How do you feel like that has influenced students these days? And I think it makes it harder for them in a lot of ways to be mindful of this.
Right. Because, I mean, for me, like, I have the Apple subscription. So, like, I have access to everything. I can listen to whatever I want. I think that's what most students have. So,
Well, they have Spotify, but they make fun of me for being on Apple Music.
Apple Music is top tier, though.
It's so
much better. But I think with them having so much access to it, I think we talk about this even with just, like, things in general, where they have access to just so much information and so many opportunities to just pick and choose what they want to listen to, that whatever's the hot new thing, whether that's like Drake or Sabrina Carpenter or Taylor Swift or insert whatever it is, these people who are influencing on social media are listening to them. They're going viral on TikTok, and that's like, it might be these cute little 30-second, 10-second version of a song that actually probably isn't harmless, but then when you listen to the entire song and that you have the access to the entire album at that point, it's either like over sexualized or it's violent or things like that. I mean, it just it jumps off of the deep end and into the deep end because it's just so easily accessible. Like my mom, at least she's had this on until I was like 18, where I had a request to get apps or to download music. Mm-hmm. And I don't think a lot of parents think that's even a possibility.
Yeah.
And so, like, if we wanted to get a CD, we'd be like, hey, Mom, we're at Target. Can I get this CD? She'd look at the thing and be like, no.
Yeah.
But parents just don't have access to, I guess even the knowledge to know that they can, like, tell their kids no on these things. Because if they don't have Apple Music, maybe they have YouTube and they can get to it that way. Yeah. There's just so many avenues that students can find to, like, get that information. But I think what the problem is like, it's the heart of what the students want.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, what are they trying to get to? Why are they trying to go around all of these? Why are they trying to find the loopholes in order to listen to the music that they want to listen to over like listening to things that's going to actually be good for them?
Yeah. Okay, total side story.
Okay.
Okay, I was really into hardcore music. Still am. Like rah, like that kind of stuff. And I will never forget the day that I was listening to this, and my mom came into my room, and she looks me dead in the eye, and she goes, "This is what the demons sound like."
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, "It's a Christian band, Mom."
Skillet?
She goes, "No, not Skillet. Okay, easy now, under oath." But I will never forget that moment. Okay, but it's funny, it's a desensitizing thing, right? Like when you want a kid to start liking broccoli, let's just say,
Right.
my favorite food, but
It's actually really good.
it's really good, right? But when you start, like, it's gross at first, right?
Right.
But over time, you try it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and you start working it in, and then you start to like it.
Right.
So, if I'm like, this has happened to me where I'm on Instagram and I'm scrolling around, and like there is one band in particular right now who I don't know why I'm on the algorithm with them, but their new album is coming out and I know about it.
Right.
Because I've
Does it
heard the
need to
same
breathe?
10, it is not, their new album is coming out. But it's the same 10 seconds of this song
Yes.
over and over and over again. And the advertising works. I don't know that I like their music.
But you like those 10 seconds.
I want to check it out. Like,
Right.
I'm going to listen to it,
Right.
And so it becomes a thing where, like, I mean, truly, I wonder sometimes if we sat down our students and we were like, why do you like this person? Do
Right.
you like this music?
Are you listening to the things that they're actually saying? And I had a conversation with a student the other day. It was like, it was about Sabrina Carpenter. If we could make a list, she would be at my top, like, of things that people you should not listen to. Sabrina Carpenter is number one. But like, her music is just so over sexualized and talks about all of these things. And when I was talking to the student, they had no idea.
Didn't think about it.
They were like, oh,
We didn't realize.
I just thought it was fun.
Yes.
And I was like, no, like, you have to be listening to things that are actually going into your ears, because those are the things you start believing.
Yeah.
And that's how you get down the rabbit hole, and that's where you slowly start to fall into temptation, into sin, because you're like, oh, well, this song that I'm listening to is fine.
Yeah. Or even if you're not, there's the route where the influence of, like, media, right? Movies I'm watching, TV shows I'm watching, music I'm listening to, podcasts I'm checking out. Like this one, it's a good one. There's a route where all those things are framing you in a certain way, right? Or building your life in a certain way. And even if it's not taking you toward temptation or something like that, like, I think about, okay, I grew up in Williamson County, right? It's a nice area.
Right.
It's suburban. There's not that much that's terrible here, right?
Yeah.
But if you grew up listening to, like, punk music or something like that, it's like, oh, everything's bad and my parents are mean,
Right,
and I can't
literally.
trust authority. And why? Like, my parents were great,
Right.
but that's how I felt because that's what I was listening to,
No, yes. Because
even if it wasn't true.
Right. And like, the things that you watch are so important too, because the things that you're watching.
Yeah.
Who was it? I think it was a comedian talking about it the other day, but like how Full House. I've never seen Full House, but he was talking about like how the daughter would just like disrespect her dad a lot, and like he would just be okay with it. My parents would have never been okay with me talking.
I
to
couldn't
him.
watch Rugrats for that reason.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there were several things I couldn't watch because of how the children responded to the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, if we get into that mindset of like, okay, well, my parents are terrible. I remember, like, this isn't pop culture, but this is just one of my like old friends who was like, well, your parents shouldn't treat you that way. And like, they don't, like, you don't get the same respect as as your sister or whatever it may
no.
be. And it literally like transformed my mind
Yeah.
to like almost flip me against my parents. And so like, if that's just what a friend can do, like, and she's only speaking into my life a little bit, like, if we're letting everything speak into our lives on a constant basis, that's going to be shaping what we think about the world
Yeah.
and about who we are.
Yeah. And I mean, not to get all Bible-y about it, but
That's kind of what we're doing.
we
here.
should do this, right? Paul says really clearly, right? He says that we are beholding Christ with unveiled faces, and we are being made to look like him. We are being reshaped in his image,
Yeah.
right? So the concept is that you become like the things that you behold over time. And that can be true for Christ. You behold Christ and you are looking at him and you are wanting to be like him and you are filling your mind, right? Paul says, dwell on these things. And he goes to list off these great things,
Yeah.
things that are true and lovely and commendable. And he's walking through this. He says in Colossians, you need to set your mind on things above where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. and not on the things of this world. Well, why? It's not because, God's not like us. He doesn't have a list where he's just like, good, bad, good,
Right.
bad, But it's actually more than that. He's saying, do you want to have the kind of life that Christ had? Do you
Right.
want to have the fruit of the Spirit? Do you want to be exemplifying him? And for our students in our context, like, hey, do you want to be more joyful?
Right.
Do you want to have more peace? Do you want to have more contentment?
And I feel like
That's not the way.
Those three are just such big things for our students right now, especially like in Williamson County. I feel like because like contentment and joy are like huge because they're always trying to chase something. I feel
Yes.
like. I know there's a lot of pressure from like their parents and that they put on themselves because everyone else around them is succeeding at such high levels. They want to succeed too.
Yeah.
And so finding that contentment in who they are in Christ rather than in who they could be
Yeah.
would be, I don't know, just like if you're listening to this music, you're always trying to catch up. It's like the new way of keeping up with the Joneses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how do you combat that as a student? How like what advice would you give a student to combat like, okay, I'm listening to these things. I still want to listen to secular music because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I want to start shaping my life and looking more like Christ. I want more joy. I want more contentment. I want more peace. So how do I do that and not like even burn out on it? Because like when I did like the only listening to like
the Way FM challenge.
Yes, it was awful. Like I like hated it a little bit.
I heard so much Phil Wickham.
Enough, Crystal, please. But like, how do you like? What would be your advice to students that they could like do that but not burn themselves out trying to just do everything?
Yeah, I mean that is the question, right? I think the biggest thing that I think about now, this is how I think about it these days, is diet. Right? So when I was a teenager, essentially I did crash diets of what I consumed in media, right? So I would be eating a lot of junk food of media for a long time. It's not making me feel good. I don't like where it's taking me. It's not shaping my mind well. And then I would just say, I'm going clean. Like I'm cutting everything. I'm doing the whole 30 day way. This all works. I'm doing whole 30 for media, Yeah. But that doesn't work, right? Like we all know that crash diets don't work in the long run. You need consistent and stable rhythms for those things. And so I think when you're looking at your life as a diet, you're asking, okay, I can have some junk food, but I also need to make sure that I'm having all of these types of things over here. And if you're thinking about even more broadly than just the media is one segment of your diet. But if you're looking at, I want to make sure that I'm reading the word and that is shaping me. I want to make sure that I'm in prayer. I want to make sure that I'm at church and I'm hearing the word open up to me, that I'm in groups. Why? Because something is going to be shaping you, and whatever you're giving the most time and attention to is going to be the thing that shapes you the most. So if it's not Christian community, that's not going to be where you're headed. And you have to ask yourself, I mean, for me, it was just sitting down and going, okay, if I run down this route, like I see the people who go that route, do I want to end up there? If I don't, then I need to change something. Right? And so I think if students could think through, what is my diet of media? Am I consuming only junk food and stuff that's really bad for me? Or am I consuming enough of the nutrients that I need? Where is that at in my life?
Yeah. And I think that's just such a hard balance because, I mean, for me, I do social media as part of my job. And so, like, there's been times where, like, I want to just delete it all. But I'm like, I can't. Like, that's obviously, like, that's not teaching me self-control in the long run.
Yeah.
And so, like, learning self-control while I'm still doing it has also been hard. And so my thing is like, I'm trying to do something with my hands. So, like, that's my application. It's like, I can craft. I know that boys probably don't love to craft. But, like, I've started doing...
What do you mean?
But, like, for me, instead of being on my phone all the time or, like, even, like, watching TikToks or scrolling, whatever it may be, I'm, like, cross-stitching. It's a grandma hobby, I know. But it's, like, something to do with my hands. And it gets my mind. Like, it literally helps me so much because I'm not...
Literally?
Literally? I've never been on live television before. I completely lost
it helps you so much. Yeah, it does. Doing something else with your hands.
Right, because then I'm not like focused. I'm like, and then my mind can actually process the things through my day. Because a lot of times that's why I'm getting on my phone, because I don't want to think about things I messed up on today or the things that I have to do tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's an embarrassing fact for me. maybe embarrassing. I don't know. I listened to 66,000 minutes of music last year.
That's impressive.
That's a lot of music. I know.
Impressive.
Now, a lot of that is like my computer is playing music while I'm at work, or like on Wednesday nights, it's my computer that's usually streaming, you know. But there is a lot of that going on, right? So there's a lot that I'm listening to. And one of the things, you know, that teaches me is I need to be careful about this. And I need to make sure that I have spaces where I'm not listening to it all the time, where I am breaking away from it. You know, this isn't necessarily where we were going to go for this pod, but this is maybe a conversation we can open for later as well. Yeah. But idols.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I really got convicted about when it came to music for myself was your God is, we often hear like your God is what you worship.
Yeah.
But God's more than just what I worship, right? For me, God is where I find my comfort. God is where I find my joy. God is where I'm stressed. I go to him. I seek for him to make things right and feel better. And honestly, I find a lot of the time that like, if I left a day at work and it was a really hard day at work, I get in my car and the first thing I want to do is put on music that's going to help me feel better.
Right.
I'm going to music to be my God in those moments.
Yeah.
Like, we don't often think about it that way, but I think media in some ways, right? You're thinking about the diet, and then you're also looking to pinpoint, like, has this thing become some kind of idol in my life? Because I want to make sure that I'm actually going to God about these things. So I think if we could give students maybe 2 things to walk away with that they could do this week with this. For me, the one I would tell them is to actually plot out like a diet. To really think through your life for this week and think through, where am I spending the most of my time, and is it actually going toward the things like scripture, like prayer, like worship music, like Christian music? It don't have to be worship music, just Christian. Yeah, he's great, you know. Church, community, all those types of things. Am I filling my mind most with those things? And then can have a small pie over here, if your parents are okay with it, and all those things too. That would be mine. Like, actually plot out the diet.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. And then I guess mine would probably be about the little pie that you do have cut out, is like to make sure that the pie that you're cutting out isn't detrimental. Yeah. Making sure that those things that you're listening to aren't going against what scripture tells you. Because if we're listening to things or watching things or being a part of things that are directly against what scripture has told us, it's just going to kind of combat everything that you're trying to do good for you. Like, again, like, some of Zach Bryan's things are fine to listen to. Other songs that he has are not fine to listen to. Yeah. And so it's listening and watching and being like 100% there and present with what you're doing, instead of just letting things go on in the background and knowing what's going into your mind, instead of just being like, oh, like whatever I'm going to listen to is fine. But no, being intentional, I guess is the word, with like what the excess you're allowing yourself to have.
Yeah. So. Intentionality is a good word for it. Well, that's all we have for our first episode of the Open Chair podcast. Next time, we'll be back to talk about FOMO.
FOMO and FOBO.
And FOBO. And I can't wait for that. We hope you guys have a great week.